For me, I did enjoy going through all of it because it was my journey. So I was led on that journey. I didn't go into it thinking I've got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to practice this, got to do this. That I was training my senses, but it was because I was in that relational place where that was what was happening in my relationship with God. So would I do it differently with what I know now? I'm not sure I could have do it differently. You know what I mean? Because that's who I was, and I couldn't have jumped a whole load of steps and missed out all the bits in between. I could have said, okay, if I was to advise people, I would say, yeah, be less systematic and more relational and just be led and enjoy and don't stress over it and don't strive for it, but relax. Don't have an agenda other than relationship. So I would put all those caveats around it, but everyone's going to be led as God leads them. So I don't know where that God needs to lead people to get them where they need to get. I needed to go through those things for me to get where I needed to get with God. And I didn't see it as a duty or a chore. Now I can see when you're doing a program and you're working a program, it can feel that way because you're working out what someone has said, this is useful. But the program really is only there as a guide to show you what is possible rather than to show you how to do everything. Otherwise it does become then following a routine rather than developing a relationship. And if you develop the relationship, whatever happens on the journey will be outworking that relationship. So I won't go back and change it and I won't change the material because some people will be at the same stage I was, and that will be helpful to them on their part of that journey. But what I have done is added in some basic meditation, entering rest at the beginning of every day, just so you can get to that place where you can enjoy. And it's all focused on enjoying, nothing focused on doing, just being. And also put into perspective the use of the Bible and how I would do the program from a non-systematic approach. It's difficult to teach something without it being almost linear, because obviously you're sort of taking people on the journey that you went. But what I encourage people is be led to what you want to listen to or engage with, rather than thinking it's not a semester that you have to do it in the right order. It's a journey that may take you in a real winding way to get you somewhere. So you may start on part 3 and go back to part 1 or whatever, if that's what you're led to. And some people are already gone through a whole load of stuff and don't need it, which is fine. As a reference point, maybe to point others to or help other people, but maybe you don't need that aspect in your own life. Maybe you've always been able to hear God's voice. Therefore, you don't need to learn to hear God's voice if you can already hear him. Maybe you've not yet seen, but you can hear. Well, that's great. So hopefully people will realize that they don't need to actually do something they can already do, but some people need to just sharpen up and get a bit sharper at things. Therefore, practicing or doing activations can help with that, because it's focusing intention. An activation is not so much as, well, I want to guide people into something. I want to open a door so people can experience something as God leads them, rather than try and see what I'm seeing. Now, I'm just sharing what I'm seeing in some of the activations, but a lot of people won't even engage that. They'll go somewhere else, or they'll see something else or experience something else, which is fine. And I want it to come over as, look, this is not something to restrict people. This is something to guide you on the way, and it's just some basic principles that can be helpful. Other than, no, you have to religiously stick to this syllabus and follow it. That's not how I want it to be. And hopefully by giving some feedback when I finished it, to then say, well, this is what I would share now, having done it, than how I shared it at the beginning. It's probably just emphasizing the relationship and emphasizing the approach to it. which is, again, to come from it from a place of rest, to enjoy, to have on the journey, not so much the destination as a goal, but a relationship that will eventually unfold your identity and reveal your destiny. If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.